B is for Boston, B is for Brazil, B is for Belgrade, Beograd.
Hello, my name is Jim. Welcome to my booktube channel about books and reading and stuff. After I did the A tag, I'll link to the video here. Some of you asked if I was going to do a B tag. Well, I'm going to do a B tag, and I figured out if I do one letter every Sunday, this is going to take me 6 months. To be or not to be, that is the question. Many things begin with B. This is booktube after all. B is for bed, B is for ball, B is for books, B is for Boston, B is for the Brattle Bookshop, B is for Bildungsroman. B, many Bs. Many countries begin with B. Brazil, Botswana, Belize, Belgium. I don't know if I'll actually get to a Z tag or a Z tag for the Americans. You don't have to watch all of these in order, it doesn't matter. You can just watch one, you can watch several. This will be the B tag. B is for Bildungsroman. This is a term coined in 1819 by Carl Morgenstern. It's about the moral and psychological growth of the protagonist. Many stories are Bildungsroman. The Kite Runner, Great Expectations, David Copperfield, Dombey and Son, Jane Eyre. Most of the books by John Green, like Paper Towns or the Fault in Our Stars, these are all examples of Bildungsroman. What's your favourite Bildungsroman or coming-of-age novel? B is for beach. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's almost summer. What would you recommend as a good beach read?
B is for Beagle. Hello Abby, do you want to go out for a walk? Abby. What's the best book you have read this year? For me, I think looking at the list, it'll be my first book, The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wang. This is a fantasy inspired by Japanese culture. It was very interesting, it was a very moving book. I'll link to the video of my review.
B is for Bookshop or Bookstore. What is your favourite bookstore? I've never been to the Brattle Bookshop in Boston, but from what Steve Donahue says about it and the way he's always talking about it, it sounds a fascinating place. Personally, my favourite bookstore is Addyman's Books in Hay-on-Wye. If you don't know, Hay-on-Wye is a book town. It's on the border of England and Wales, on the edge of Herefordshire. I used to go there very often when I lived in Worcester in England. I haven't been to Hay-on-Wye now for 15 years, but Addyman's Books is great. They have 3 stores, and one is called Murder and Mayhem, which is just a store specialising in mystery and detective fiction. But I like visiting Hay-on-Wye. There's so many second-hand bookshops there. I can spend many days there. My local bookstore here in Tbilisi is Biblusi, which has a very limited stock. In Tbilisi, my favourite bookshop is probably Prospero's. It's a bit expensive, but Prospero's is an English bookshop on Rustaveli Avenue, and there I can find things I can't find anywhere else in Tbilisi. B is for banned books. Are there any books you would ban? Hash at Bookish Realm did a great video on banned books. I'll link to it here. And here is a list of the 10 most banned or challenged books cited by the American Library Association. I'll let you have a look at the list. You can pause the video. Were there any books on the list which surprised you? Personally, I wouldn't ban any book. There are books I don't like, and if you have a copy of Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf, or if you have some of Ayn Rand's books, I might question your choices, but I wouldn't ban these books. Another book that caused some controversy was The 13 Reasons Why by Jane Asher, published in 2007. This was about a teenage girl who committed suicide, Hannah Baker, and in Messer County Colorado, there was an order to stop the circulation of this book after a spate of teen suicides. I think it's obviously sad if somebody committed suicide after reading a book and was inspired to kill themselves by reading a book, but I don't think the book should be banned. I think books tackling suicide, talking about suicide, open up the conversation between children, between teenagers, between educators, between parents, and I think this is a good thing overall. Obviously for those who killed themselves is sad. B is for Bible. This is my manga Bible. What is your favourite book of the Bible? Here we have Adam eating the apple. I think my favourite book of the Bible is Ecclesiastes. It's quite trippy, but there's many different books, many different authors, many different styles of book. Do you have a favourite? If you like poetry, there's the Psalms. If you like philosophy, there's the Proverbs. If you like apocalyptic concepts, there's the book of Daniel and Revelations. There's a lot of different books in here. Also, if this book was in the bookshop, what trigger warnings do you think it should come with? B is for bookshelf. Show me your bookshelf. As you see, I don't have a bookshelf behind me. I can show you where some of the books are. Here are some books. These are mostly teaching books, teaching English. There's a few others. There's a book of Ferrari, there's a book about great paintings. I got some books down here with my cars. This is not very good because I can't see the ones at the back. It's quite a deep shelf. And here we have some books underneath the TV. What do we have here? It's not very organised. We've got Murakami. We've got some art books, some travel guides from the Lonely Planet. Lots of countries begin with B. The big one, Brazil. Brazil, the great footballing nation, home of Pelé and Ronaldinho. But it's also the home of Paolo Coelho. Paolo Coelho wrote The Alchemist. The Alchemist has been translated into 70 different languages. It was very popular, particularly in the 1990s. I first came across this in France and I read it in French, Alchemist. It's the story of somebody following their heart, following their spirit, looking for something. I'm not sure what to make of Paolo Coelho. Some of his novels I've really enjoyed, like Veronica Decides to Die, about somebody who attempts suicide, and because they attempt suicide they're put in a psychological institution, and it's looking at the difference between people outside and people inside the psychological institution and who is crazier. Paolo Coelho knows about this because his parents put him into a psychological institution in his late teens. Some of Paolo Coelho's books are wonderful, some are just meh, and some are just garbage. The Valkyries, what was that about? That was a terrible novel. It was one of the worst books I've ever read. Have you read any Paolo Coelho? What do you think of Paolo Coelho? Is he an author worth reading, or who do I tag? There's lots of channels, beginning with B, not surprisingly, on Booktube. So I'll tag some of those. Katie at Books and Things, Ash at Bookish Realm, Mark at Book Time with Elvis, Sheena at Beating Around the Books, Bethan Brunning Sokola, The Bald Book Geek, Brian at Bookish, Bob the Bookerer, Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, and you, if you want to do this, feel yourself tagged. If you'd be liking this video, then you can be liking and subscribing below, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye. B is for British. I won't ask you about the great British novel. I don't think it's a concept that exists. Britain. I haven't returned to Britain since they voted for Brexit. Brexit is so alien